let's listen to some music, shall we? Hello and welcome to my channel, The Danish Foodaholic. My name is Silka and today I'm gonna give you some recommendations based on my current favorite songs. Or maybe it's not my current favorite songs, but some of the songs that I listen to a lot. I think we should just start. I'm gonna play a little bit of a snippet of the song, but I'm gonna have to speed it up because of copyright and everything. So I'm gonna play the song, tell you the name of the song and the artist who did it. And then I have some recommendations. Some of the books I only have one or some of the songs I only have one book for the song, but I think the most that I have for one song is 3 books. So, we'll see. We'll see how this goes. This is a Danish artist. He actually, I think he won the very first X Factor that they did in Denmark. He is my biggest fuck you ever, because when he won, I was like, I don't see it. I don't get it. I hate his voice. I can't. And then he came back, like, so many years after with, like, his new band or his new, let's call it his new sound. And I was just like, damn, he really showed me, didn't he? Because now I see it. I see it. So the song is called Dark Vibrations. And it's basically about this guy singing to a girl that I see your struggles, I see what you're going through, but I am here for you and I want to help you in any way, shape, or form that I can. That is like the majority of it. I would definitely give it a listen and then listen to the lyrics, because honestly that is all I've ever wanted a guy to say to me. But also just the sound of the song, it's just so good. So the song is called Dark Vibrations and it's by Saveus. It's spelled like save us, but in one word, so Saveus. And the books that I've picked for this, I picked a middle grade and I picked a YA. The YA book that I've picked for this is Master of Iron by Tricia Levenseller. Without spoiling too much, let's just say that there is, I've mentioned it before, our main character. Why do I keep talking about Master of Iron as if it's the first book in a series? Hold on. I meant to talk about Blade of Secrets. So the first book we have is Blade of Secrets by Tricia Levenseller. In this, we follow Siva, who has like social anxiety amongst other things. And basically, she is surrounded by people who give a similar vibe to me than the guy in Dark Vibrations. Because he is singing very much about, as I said, I see that you're suffering, but please put some of that suffering on me, or we will handle this together. Don't push me away, because I'm here for the good and the bad stuff. And that is the vibe that I'm getting from the people surrounding Siva in this book. I'm not going to mention who I like specifically have in mind, but there's definitely multiple people who fit this. Her sister is one of them. I feel like I can say that without it being too spoilery. But her sister is one of those people where I'm just like, you fit the vibe. The other book that I chose is Fight and Flight by Jules Machias. In this we follow two girls, and I don't really remember how old they are, but it's a middle grade book. So, and basically they each have their struggles that they try and carry and try and hide and try and handle by themselves. But then when they kind of form this friendship, they learn to like rely on each other and be there through each other's dark vibrations, you know? You see where I'm going with this? So I feel like this also fits very well, whereas the other one is more like her support system is helping her. In this one, we have 2 girls becoming each other's support system and helping each other through the things. Because like they're good at different things, and they're good at the things that the other person kind of needs. That is why I chose this as well. for Dark Vibrations. Alright, so let's do the next one because I only have one book for that. It's a new song and I freaking love it. It is basically giving me badass vibes. Like, it's giving me, I'm gonna fight you and I'm gonna win because I am a bad bitch. So, I don't know if you've heard it yet, but it's so good. So that was Lethal Woman by Dove Cameron. I am so excited for her new album. Like, the songs that have come out so far, I've loved every single one. Like, every single song that she's come out with ever since... Which one came first? Was it Boyfriend? I think so. Every single song that she has come out with since then, I've just been like, it's been banger after banger in my opinion. And like, some of my favorites also include like Sand, which is also one of the newer ones. I was debating putting that in here, but I already have like 2 Dove Cameron songs on this, so I'm like, maybe keep it together. I think I'm gonna try, depending on the album, of course, when she comes out with her new album, I think I'm gonna try and do a video where I find a book recommendation for every single song, depending on how I feel about it. I might also try and do that with Måneskin's Rush and the new like Rush Are You Coming albums. If that would be something you would be interested in after seeing this video, let me know. Right now we're talking about Lethal Woman, and I have one book that sprang to mind when I heard this song. I was like, yes, because this book is filled with lethal women. It is basically set in a world where women have been, I don't want to say restrained, but their rights have basically been taken from them. They're not allowed to do anything. They're not allowed to read. They're not allowed to do anything. And then one of our main characters is caught reading, or what they think is reading. She is actually just reciting a book from memory because it's been read to her a million times. And she's then taken to a prison isle, surrounded by a bunch of lethal women. And the dynamics in this, the relationships between these women on the isle, and in general, like, the female empowerment that we get from this series, I freaking love it. This series is definitely bound for a reread soon because, oh my god, the characters in this, I freaking love it. We follow 2 sisters. One is Serena and the other is called Nomi. I definitely preferred Serena's point of view because she is the one on this prison isle, whereas Nomi is actually the one who is breaking rules. So she is actually the one who was able to read. Serena is not. And Serena has always been raised to become like a princess, whereas Nomi has more been raised as like this rebel. Well, not intentionally, but she has always kind of like, because there's been so much focus on Serena becoming this princessy type girl, Nomi has kind of like slipped under the radar and been able to get away with more things. And then their roles are kind of switched for reasons I will not go into. And Serena ends up on this prison isle, and it is her perspective that I think of when I listen to Lethal Woman, because her character transformation in like from this princessy type of woman to, or princessy type of girl, let's call it that, into a lethal woman is so good. And it's beyond, like, I remember reading this and I was like, how is she ever going to like live on this prison island, or what is gonna happen? And I was shooketh, because like her transformation is insane and I recommend. Let's stick with the Dove Cameron. This is Dove Cameron and Khalid, so I think you might already know what song it is, but let me just play it for you. So that was We Go Down Together by Dove Cameron and Khalid. And what I'm getting from this song is like very melancholic vibes, as in like, I'll be here for you when you need me. In like, we've been through so much, we have survived so much, So I'm not just gonna give up on you just because you're going through a bad time. And I know that we've been through bad times a lot, but I'm still here and I'm still here for you. So it's not like, we can do this, we can get, you know, it's more like, I got you vibes. If that makes sense. Does it make sense at all? I know it's the same thing, but it's like the vibe underneath, you know? For this, I've gone for 2 books. One of them is These Violent Delights by Chloe Gong. We are set in 1920s Shanghai, and there's just a bunch of shit going on. And that is like the vibe that I'm getting from the song, you know? So we're surrounded by shit. We cannot see the light, but we're in this together. So if you go down, I go down with you. And that is the vibe that I'm getting from our 2 main characters in this. Our 2 main characters, Roma and Juliet, are former lovers turned enemies, and then they're forced to work together because they each have like pieces of the puzzle. So in order to actually make things make sense, they need to work together to figure out what is actually plaguing Shanghai in this. And also, they're from rivalry gangs. What's not to love? And this definitely fits the if you go down, I'll go down with you vibe, because that is what I'm getting from both Roma and Juliet, even though they don't want to admit it. Similarly, we have The Raven and the Dove by Kaitlyn Davis. This is not entirely, well, at least not the first one, is not entirely The World Has Gone to Shit. It will be later on in the series. But in the first book, we basically have 2 characters who accidentally learn of each other's secret, and then the whole if you go down, I'll go down with you comes from them trusting each other in keeping each other's secrets, you know? Because it's a secret that they would be executed for. I would definitely recommend this series. It's so beautiful, and I love the whole thing about them being birds and having like abilities based on that bird. I freaking love it. And also the fact that the doves are supposed to be graceful and blah 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 blah, and then we have the ravens who people don't really like all that much, and then we have everything in between, like the owls or the eagles. I'm actually not sure if there's eagle, but there's also like the songbirds and all those different type of things, and it's so damn good. Alright, we have 2 songs left. This next song is a song that I listen to a lot, especially when I'm sad. Do you know that feeling when you're sad, but you listen to sad songs to make yourself sadder? That's me. I do that so often, and I don't know why, because it doesn't make sense. Because I do make myself sadder when I listen to sad songs. Like, I think a sane person would find something to make themselves happy again. But me, I'm just like, no. Let me stay in my sadness. So I'll put on a sad song and I'll be sad again. This song is from Euphoria, the TV show. I think it's from the 2nd season. When I heard this song, I was like, oh, that is a knife in the heart. And it's one of my all-time favorite songs, I think. This is I'm Tired by Labrinth featuring Zendaya. She has the last couple of lines, and it is just so phenomenal. Like, her lines at the end, if you haven't heard the song, do yourself a favor. I have picked a middle grade for this. It is a book that gave me the same feeling. It's the equivalent to reading or to listening to a sad song when you're sad. I feel like this is the book, because you've heard that it's sad. You know it's gonna mess with you, and you read it regardless. And when you've read it, I burst into tears. I cried for a solid hour. I look at it now and I'm like, I do kind of want to reread it. I do kind of want to put myself through that pain again. Why? I have no clue, but it was so good. I am, of course, talking about A Monster Calls by Patrick Ness. This is the Danish version, which is why it's called Monster and not A Monster Calls. I feel like it fits the vibe. Not only in the sense that I just explained, by the fact that this is the equivalent to listening to a sad song when you're sad, but also I feel like the words, like Zendaya's last words in the song is like, hey Lord, you know I'm trying, hey Lord, you know I'm trying. It's all I got, is this enough? Hey Lord, I want to stay. Hey Lord, you know I'm fighting. Hey Lord, you know I'll find it. I don't know when or how today. Hey Lord, I'm on my way. And I feel like that could kind of sum up our main character's feelings, especially in the sense that I'm trying. Is this enough? Am I doing all right? And I don't know, I just feel like this song fits really well with our main character and with this book and its aesthetic overall. Also, a bonus thing that I just want to mention about this book that you probably know, but if you don't, we have absolutely stunning illustrations in this book. So I would, like, one thing is listening to the book, of course, but the physical copy, do yourself the favor and get your hands on it. The last song that I have chosen 3 books for it, 2 from the same series. This song, I've listened to it like nonstop ever since I found it on TikTok and it kind of became a TikTok song. I've listened to this song on repeat. Every single song that this artist has come out with ever since, I've also listened to that on repeat. So she'll probably, if I do a part 2 of this, she'll be there again. I have 3 books for this, so I'm just gonna get on with it. The song is called Labor, and it's by Paloma, and it is so good. I also really, really love her song Yeti and her song Drywall. Do yourself the favor and also go listen to those. So, first I'm gonna talk about Graceling. In Graceling, the reason why I chose this book is because this whole, like, you make me do too much. You ask too much of me. I am not your servant. That is the vibe that Katza gives off, at least in my opinion. I know that it's not, like, you can interpret the songs in, like, the song in many ways. That's the beauty of music. But what I'm getting from this, in the sense, like, in relation to books, is that you ask too much of me. I am not your servant. In this case, Katza actually is kind of a servant, but she doesn't want to be. She wants to escape this. She has this rebellion. This is not a spoiler because it's in the beginning of the book. She has this rebellion that the king doesn't know about. And it's basically her way of being like, you don't know me. You make me do too much of your things. Like, you make me do too much labor and I'm not here to serve you. So I'm going to go off and do my own thing. And that is what I'm getting from Katza. So that is why this book is on the list. Similarly, we have Fire from the same series, from the Graceling series, where we follow our main character, Fire. She gives off a similar vibe to Katza, but she's also very different from Katza, whereas Katza is very in your face, I'm gonna fight you. Fire is more reserved because she is kind of a little bit more scared of the world, but she ends up realizing what her dad did to her. So he made her do too much labor, you know? I don't know, I just feel like this would also fit perfectly with this song and the vibe of it. Finally, we have Renata Convita in Incendiary by Zoraida Cordova. She also gives up this energy of, like, men has been telling me my entire life what I should and shouldn't do, and I am done. This is enough. And I feel like the song kind of gives off, like, female empowerment in the sense that realizing that you make me do too much. I am not your servant. I am not your mother. I'm not here to service you. I'm not here for you. I'm here for me. And that is another thing that Renata definitely gives up in this. This series, the Incendiary series, I freaking loved it. Like, Illusionary is still one of my all-time favorite books. That's the sequel in this. And I would definitely recommend going into this. This is so good, and the magic system is so unique, and I freaking love it. So do yourself the favor and add all of these books to your TBR. I really hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. Please leave a comment telling me your favorite song, and maybe if you have a book that you would recommend based on that song, that would be fun. Add it in the comments. If you just want to let me know that you're here but don't know what to comment, you can always leave a green heart. If you like this video, please hit the like icon, and if you want to see more of my bookish content, please consider hitting that subscribe button. It will mean the world to me. And until I see you next time, bye!